Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13, and today I wanted to do sort of a comparison slash throwback video. So here we have the Studio Series Movie 1 Megatron. I'm pretty sure this is the same as the initial release. I got this out of the 4-pack, out of the anniversary 4-pack. But to my knowledge, he's not any different from the initial release. I believe they have the same paint, same sculpting, same everything. And he is a very good representation of that Megatron, and I feel he has, out of the figures I own at least, the best of the jet modes. The only one I'm still planning on getting that I don't currently have is the movie Masterpiece, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens, but that's still a ways off. But I wanted to compare him to a couple of the original figures, just to sort of get a look at, you know, how different things are now versus then. And I believe it was a 15-year anniversary pack. I don't think it was 10. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it would have been 15. But first, we'll take a look at the Icy movie Voyager. As you can see, this guy is definitely a lot taller, and he doesn't have all the, you know, icy blue plastic parts. He doesn't have the, you know, whole wing setup on his back. And the big thing for me is that they actually found a way to hide away the front of the jet. You know, that's stored in his back. But he, you know, obviously there was, you know, a good several years of engineering progress that went into this. And, you know, this figure was okay when it came out. I feel like it was okay. The big gripe that most people have is the, you know, the spring-loaded feet. You know, there wasn't any real reason for that. The Fallen toy that came out following the Revenge of the Fallen had that same thing, and you know, it's not a huge issue. Most of the time you just, you know, plop them down and they're good to go. But it's still unnecessary parts, really, at the end of the day. It's unnecessary. And I get that, you know, for this one they were going for the part where he had just gotten out of the ice and all that. Hence all the blue plastic and blue paint. But I think it just looks a little awkward. It's not great. And, you know, probably the reason I still have this guy is because I never really feel the need to pick him up and mess with him. He's just not that interesting. He doesn't really draw me back. So, you know, and I've played with this, I've only had this guy a few months, but I do keep picking him up every so often. The only thing I really don't care for is, you know, his mace thing is just kind of there. But, you know, it's a cool little accessory. I'm not going to complain about them putting accessories in, especially, you know, since he used it in the movie and all. It makes sense. So, you know, out of these two, I definitely would consider this the far superior one. But, you know, that's not that surprising. They had, you know, 15-something years to improve the engineering and all that. He's better painted. He's, you know, got a more solid sculpt. So, you know, it's not a surprising, you know, it's honestly, you know, a good thing that the newer one is much better, because if the way older one is the better one, then, you know, there's some red flags there. But there's that. The other one I wanted to look at was the movie 1 Leader Megatron, and we'll see if he's willing to cooperate today, because he is an old boy who does not stand up very well. Okay, well, he looks like he's going to cooperate today. Yeah, he does not always like to stand on his own. Mine, again, this is an original release. I don't think they ever really reissued this guy. He's, you know, a big bulky leader class back from when, you know, they were really chunky. And he had a few gimmicks, like he has this, you know, his gun in his arm thing. For any who were not aware, there was a little thing you could do where this is spring loaded and his mace hand, you just had to pull it out. There was a little thing you could do, take the spring out and put it in his mace hand so that it shoots out. So I did that little modification. Mine also has broken horns, but you know, that's a very minor thing. You know, it's not something you're going to notice right off the bat. But I don't really play with this guy anymore just due to he does have some soft plastic. I worry about these fingers because they feel a little more stiff than they used to. I know that they do like come off. They're not completely, like there's a little, it's a C-clip that holds them on, but I don't want their age to cause them to break. But I do still think he's a great display piece. I don't think his batteries don't work anymore. But you know, he had lights and sounds and the auto morph gimmick, which you know that little switch was. Again, he's got some of that blue going on because he was supposed to be frozen in ice. And you know, he was a very bulky figure. You know, most of his jet mode is just sitting here on his back, and his legs just kind of plug into the bottom of his wings. So his jet mode was definitely, yep, see, there it goes. Was not the strongest mode, but all things considered, it was all right for the time. And I do think that as far as bang for your buck, this guy was definitely worth the price of admission at the time. You know, leader classes have not only shrunk but gone up in price. I believe around the time I bought this guy, they were $40-ish. I know that the Revenge of the Fallen leaders were right around $40 because I got the Optimus Prime twice because I loved it so much. And you know, I'd love to take a look back at that some point. But yeah, just I do feel that as far as this leader class figure, he's aged mostly gracefully. I think that you know, they were still doing more gimmicky figures. He's a very chunky, bulky toy, and aside from a few loose parts and the softer plastic sort of showing its age, yeah. You know, he still looks good on the shelf. He's not one that I would really want to pick up and mess around with anymore, just because he's definitely, you know, you can feel the age in the joints and all that, but he still looks good. I think he still looks good. And you know, it's not super screen accurate, obviously. You know, this is much more akin to the actual screen appearance. But I think as far as they go, it's hard to compare the two fairly because I really feel that they filled more. They were separate niches, really. This was, you know, the big birthday present gimmicky toy, and this is very much a collector's piece, more so. But I do think that, again, this one obviously, you know, it has the better engineering and, you know, paint and yada yada, so he does still look better on the shelf in my opinion, but I don't think that detracts from how this guy was at release. I think he still holds strong for what he was trying to do at the time. But you know, those are just my thoughts, a little bit of a ramble. You know, I had recently picked this guy up again and saw these two guys sitting on the shelf, and I was like, you know, I'd like to do a little video comparing the two and just giving my thoughts off the top of my head about what I think. And you know, it's cool to see how far we've come as far as, you know, like the studio series. And you know, I don't have as many of the studio movie figures as I would like. There are still plenty I would like to get. Like I mentioned, I don't have any of the movie 1 Autobot figures. So I would like to get those if possible. But yeah, I really hope that they continue to improve, and who knows, maybe we'll get a 20th anniversary pack for, you know, the movie, and they'll have even more wacky, cool figures at that point. But, you know, again, you know, great for, you know, kid's birthday present, great for collector shelf. They all have, you know, things that they're good and bad at. Because, I mean, if you know, this guy probably weighs half of what this guy does. Like, he is definitely, I mean, you know, leader Voyager first off, but, you know, they've really cut back in a lot of ways. There's definitely more hollowness, despite, you know, how bulky his legs are, having the wings in there and everything. But, you know, this guy also has like a ton of chunky plastic and electronics. There's a reason for these things. But yeah, so I guess I'll stop rambling now, and you know, if you guys have any thoughts, feel free to mention it in the comments. If you'd like me to do more of these videos, you know, maybe leave a like. I'll probably do at least a couple more of some of the big name characters, you know, like Optimus and maybe Bumblebee. So we'll have to wait and see, but you know, I'm just here to nerd out online, and I'm happy to have you guys join me for that.